My Food Bag's multi-million-dollar recipe. In just 4 years, My Food Bag has become a household name. Co-founders Cecilia Robinson and Nadia Lim talk to us. If there was ever an example of a business that likes to move quickly, it's My Food Bag.
Cecilia and James are the fastest executors I've ever met, and I think anyone who has ever worked with them totally agrees.
Says the co-founder, Nadia Lim. 4 years ago, the Robinsons, with Lim and her husband, Carlos Bagri, and former Telecom chief executive, Teresa Gatting, launched the food delivery service to a few hundred people in Auckland. Since then, My Food Bag has grown from a team of 5 to a company of 120, pumping out nutritious recipes and delivering ingredients weekly from Invercargill to Whangarei. Not even a company mastermind, Celia Robinson, could foresee just how much and how quickly the brand would grow. Last October, they secured investment from private equity firm Waterman Capital, part of a long-term strategy to prepare for an IPO within 3 years. MFB's forecast revenue for the 2017 financial year is expected to exceed $135 million. On a more intimate level, it has quickly become the busy person's best friend, a brand its users engage with in their homes several times a week.
When I wrote the business plan, I had some big, aspirational, hairy goals.
Says Robinson.
But did we think we'd be here? Probably not.
Well, not this fast.
Laughs Lim. Rather than sitting on their laurels, Robinson and Lim say they're as fired up as ever, always looking to the next phase of growth. That means continuing the transition phase with Waterman and expanding on their new product lines, which this year saw them introduce vegetarian and gluten-free options and a bag for single-person households alongside their food bags for families and couples. They also launched My Express Bag, targeting the time poor with pre-chopped ingredients and quicker to prepare meals. Express is an apt label for it. It was a matter of mere weeks from idea to execution, a typically fast turnaround that Lim puts down to her colleague, aka the Swedish blonde blur, as a journalist once described Robinson. But MFB's biggest product launch in the past year was My Bargain Box. Targeting families on a budget, Bargain Box offers meals from about $5.30 a plate and now accounts for nearly half of their business.
And instinctively knows what they want.
Says Lim.
As soon as she clicks on that, she'll be telling everyone that we're going to do. Straight away, she's in action. I've never met anyone who dives into it that fast.
That guns-blazing approach spearheaded the business 4 years ago. Inspired by a similar product in Sweden, the Robinsons were keen to make use of the exposure Lim's recent MasterChef win and cooking show had given her, by bringing her on board as the face of the brand. For Lim, a dietitian whose no-fuss, natural, nude food philosophy underpins all the recipes, the success is equally satisfying. Her goal has always been to encourage more people to prepare their own healthy meals without the stress that can come from information overload. There's nothing wrong with outsourcing the bulk of your grocery shopping and decision-making on meals, she argues, if it means eating well.
People want to go back to basics a lot more and lead a simpler life rather than wondering, is this actually a healthy meal that I'm feeding my family? I'm not sure because this diet expert is saying I should be eating this way, and this diet expert says I should be eating this way.
These days, she oversees rather than writes the recipes, while remaining the brand ambassador and food expert. There are now 19 chefs and testers in the development team, plus the photography kitchen who capture the step-by-step images. It's a multifaceted role that means Lim is involved in everything from promotions to running the website. The latest addition to brand Nadia is the bi-monthly lifestyle magazine Nadia, a glossy compilation of recipe ideas, well-being features and insights into Lim's life with husband Carlos and 8-month-old son Bodhi, who even gets his own column. Similar in concept to magazines put out by food writers such as Annabelle Langbein and Australian Donna Hay, Nadia was the brainchild of publishers Bauer, whose market research revealed that Kiwi Woman ranked Lim, with her wholesome, accessible appeal, and 244,000 Facebook followers, as one of the most influential New Zealanders. Running the business hasn't been all plain sailing, of course. Cecilia recalls the fraught night when the two couples stayed up until 3 a.m. trying to get the website live. And launching my gluten-free food bag last year was an operational nightmare, not only getting the tick from Coliac New Zealand, but making sure all the ingredients are kept completely separate from other products.
It probably does take a certain type of couple.
Says Robinson.
A lot of people would say we're crazy, right? But it is really awesome.
Cecilia and James had already worked together for several years, running the early childhood education provider Au Pair Link when they launched My Food Bag. Likewise, Lim says she couldn't imagine not working with Baggery, My Food Bag's brand guardian and creative go-to guy.